Hello everyone, I'm back with a recap of my Ultra Bonds trading sessions. I traded today, Thursday, March 16th, the London session. I also like to look at the markets pre-New York open. The bond market open is 1 hour and 10 minutes before the New York Stock Exchange open. So I like to prepare for that. So I start looking at the markets again 1 hour before bond open, and I'll trade it till, let's say, New York Stock Exchange open. So first of all, how I look at the market is following. This is a trading view chart. Doesn't really matter what you use for your levels and for your bigger picture. I just like trading view because it's web-based, doesn't take any resources and that kind of stuff. So initially, I look at the Asian session. This is just an indicator that marks the Asian session. And this is an indicator, it's all free on TradingView, that marks the initial balance. Initial balance is the first hour of the market open. Bond open, 1420, 1520. That's bond open, initial balance. Asia is till 6 o'clock in the morning my time. Well, long story short, this is 3-minute chart. What I do is I mark my zones on this chart. You can use a 1 hour chart to mark your levels. You can use 3-minute chart, 15-minute, what works for you. It doesn't really matter. I just like to work with fresh zones. So this is why I use the Asia and the initial balance, because these levels are fresh. This is from yesterday, of course, and this is from this morning. And I just want to know how market is reacting based on those levels. So I place my zones in the wicks. These are Heikin Ashi on 3-minute candles. And I base my zones in those wicks. Very simple. So first of all, it doesn't really matter what you use. If you use time chart or wrinkle chart or whatever, you gotta have a plan. If this happens, then that. And if that happens, what then? What are you gonna look for? What are you gonna trade? I think this system I trade is very simple. I like to keep it simple. And I think you can use it on multiple markets like gold, oil, ES, NQ, that kind of stuff. But you gotta have a sort of a plan every day when you're gonna hit the market, what you are looking for. My plan is simple. We got Asia session, right? I'm gonna mark the London Open. Something I also do, 9 o'clock, I forgot to mark it here. This is the market open London session. So I have my zones placed. By the way, I also have some training videos available in my Discord, via my Discord channel, where you can learn how you place those zones and stuff, but only if you're interested, of course. But you're welcome on my Discord server. It's free. So I have a plan. First of all, I look, this is Asia session, I look where is price going. Are we rejecting the middle of the Asia session or not? Right, this is the middle, Asia range mid. It's important to see if price is staying below or above. Very simple rule, if we are below Asia range mid, we're looking primarily for price to go down. And if it's going above, we're looking for longs. Overall direction, okay? Keep it very simple. This is Asia range low. We see Asia range low is holding 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. 3 times this is holding. Most of the time, if it's gonna break 1, 2, 3, the 3rd time it will break. But this time, 3 times it held. You can take the first bounce, you can take the second bounce, but I have a simple rule. As long as we are below Asia mid, we are even below this structure. See, I just marked a zone in the wicks, and you see I made this zone red. Price moved down away from that area. Very simple stuff, just structure, price action. So as long as we're looking for shorts, there's a high probability Asia range low will break and we can have some nice trending markets to the downside, but it did not. So it's very important to look at failure. This is how I call it, failure. It fails to move down. So if it's failing to move down, where it's gonna go? Where do you think it's gonna go? It's gonna go to the Asia range mid. Then we're gonna see if it's gonna continue down again with new structure, or like in this case, break, retest, structure to the upside. That is something you want to look for. Structure based on a, let's say, bigger plan. In this case, we see Asia range low is holding. So first of all, I was looking for shorts and maybe a clean bounce here to the upside. And I just scalp 3 to 6 ticks every move because bond says $31.25 per tick. With 3-4 contracts, that's very nice. I target around 1K per day per trading account. So it's easy to hit your target with a simple plan like this. So again, we move down, we failed to break. So it failed to break 3 times. It moved up again, a few candles. So in this moment, I'm looking for longs. I'm looking for pullbacks to the upside. And this is a 3-minute chart. So I'm looking for longs from this area, from here or from here, longs till here, shorts from here to the downside longs. You can trade both ways, but your mind has to be ready for it. It takes some time to be able to trade both directions. This is a simple plan, just follow the plan. 1, 2, 3 times fail. I'm looking for longs here, structure, pullbacks on a lower time frame or a range chart or wrinkle chart. It doesn't really matter. Just a type of chart that helps you read the structure and the pullback. Every market has structure and pullbacks. Okay, you can get in on a bounce. I'd rather get in on confirmation. And you know already where your targets are because the levels are like magnets. If this area is holding, it's gonna go to the other magnet here. If this is holding, it's gonna go to the other magnet. It's like magnets, right? Just be patient and look for the trades in that direction. So this was London. Now in this case, we broke the mid, and now I'm very convinced that if it held the Asia range low and it also held the mid, there's a high probability it's gonna break Asia range high. We moved up. This was a new spike. We had some jobless claims and that kind of stuff. But from this area, from here on, 43.1437, 144.7, that's 31 ticks. That's 1 point. 1 point is perfect. You can swing this. I just scalp it in and out, all good. But this is the bigger picture, how you should look at a market. And then you can swing it or you can scalp it, small scalps, target let's say 400 or 500 a day, all good, and walk away. This is a trading style I used during the London session and the pre-New York. But of course you can use the same session, the same strategy, when you're trading the initial balance. This is, let's say, yesterday's initial balance, right? First hour. You are based in the US or Canada or other country with a similar time zone. You want to trade a similar style. And if it's not clear, then just stay away. This is just some structure I made based on the lows of this initial balance. I'm just making some structure based on the initial balance high. Initial balance mid is in the middle. You can short this or you can long this. Look for structure to the upside, look for structure to the downside. I believe we also had some news, so it was a little bit ugly, a little bit choppy. But if you see something like this, rotation just above the mid, moving down, you can scalp this to the downside. 3 ticks, another 3 ticks. If you got 9 ticks on bonds with 3 contracts, that's perfect. 9 or 10 ticks, 3 contracts, that's 900 a day. You don't need to swing this whole move to the upside. You can have 3 scalps of 3-4 ticks in and out, and you'll be done. Here, this is the mid, right? We got a zone over here. Maybe it's very ugly. I know it looks very ugly. We see break to the downside, retest, 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 down. So on a lower time frame, Renko or range, whatever you like to use, you can trade these pullbacks. Same setup, same strategy as I use on Asia. You can use this on gold, on CL, whatever you like. But just focus on one product, one market. But bonds is very easy to trade because of the great structure it has. So I had some setups here. We can look at it on my Ninja Trader chart. What I do is this. I have some indicators. These mark already the London and the Frankfurt. And this is the Unirenko 111 chart. So one tick per bar. I also have Heikinagi on it. These are the same levels. Asia range low, right? I have the same zones here. Bounce of this to here. And we got, where is it? Asia range mid somewhere here in the middle. Let me look it up. This is Asia range high. The mid should be around something here. Okay, so this is the structure. This is 3-minute zone. Price bounced off already. And of course, something I also do is I write down in the chart where price is in relation to yesterday's value area, current Asia, and if it's below VWAP or not. Because there are some simple basic rules. Below VWAP, looking for shorts. Above VWAP, you're looking for longs. But of course, you can trade rotations. These are some basic rules. Okay, what did we get? First of all, we got some consolidation. Here, I took a short here because everything was down. And what I'm looking for is structure that does this. A move to the downside, pick up liquidity, few ticks here, 3-4 ticks I believe. This was a rotation at this zone. I scalped it with a few ticks because you never know if this thing's gonna go all the way to the VWAP or not. I was not primarily looking for longs, I was focused on shorts. If I'm going counter on a scalp bounce, I just take 3-4 ticks. But then again, 2 wins. Then price goes to VWAP. I'm looking for the first rotation at VWAP. 3 ticks on this one. Then I just wait. Because you'd never know what price is gonna do. I'm gonna wait for structure. Oh, I don't know if price is going up or down. We don't know. Price movement is completely random, right? Completely random. We know this. But then I see this. High, lower high based on this one, lower high. I didn't take this one or this one or this. I see a bunch of lower highs, structure confirming we're moving down, lower lows. And now I'm thinking, okay, let me short this thing. White line is a VPOC. This area between the VWAP and the VPOC, I call the shit zone. This is a higher risk area. If we got a tight shit zone like this, a crappy zone to trade, it's high risk. So I took only 2 contracts on this short, but it was a win. Because why did I take it? Structure confirming. Okay, we're moving down. Then I see here by the way, this red zone here, you see, this is based on a daily chart. I just mark my zones similar on a daily, so I know price is in a daily zone. It can go up and down inside the daily zone, or it has to break out. So we see many times in a daily zone area a little bit choppy market. So I know this. I see price is in balance again, sideways, not really doing anything. I took this long just because of this. I see this area holding. Bum, bum, bum. So we move down. This is also, by the way, previous value area low. This line, it's a double line. This one here, it rejected. So it bounced off. Now I'm looking for structure to the upside. But I want some confirmation. I don't get in on the first one because how do we know it's going to go up? If I see structure is holding, I'm interested to go long. I took this long, again, not all the way to VWAP, but I took my ticks here. I believe these were my trades for the London session. Very simple. You could have taken this double top at VWAP also, but a little bit higher risk. So I waited. This is 12 o'clock my time, lunchtime, so I wait. But what do we see in the meantime during my lunch? Sometimes I look at the market, what is happening. We are moving up, we are moving up, okay. We are above Asia range mid, we are above VWAP, so everything is moving up, right? I know this is a strong magnet over here, and I want to have confirmation on my setups, right? Moving down. You can use trend lines. I don't really use trend lines, but it's because it's never really perfect. But you can use it if you like. But I just learned myself to look at structure, right? This is a high, this is a low, high, higher low. Okay, higher low. I want to see a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low. There you get it. I scalp this one to the upside. Something else I do is I look at what kind of numbers on the scale is price reacting to. In this case, round numbers, 0, 0, 16, 8, 24. I mark this on bonds, but also other products like CL is very predictable on the reaction on those levels. Study your market, your product, how it reacts on your setups. For example, right, we bounced off the round number 144. We bounced off, bam, lower high. Oh, sorry, lower low, lower high. And then we hit 16. We made a double bottom at 16. And we continued in our overall structure to the upside. So 16 was a sort of support. What you also see is we bounced off 16-ish before. So you might draw a green zone over there. We bounced off before. This is not really coincidence. You will see this happening more. Long here, and I was long on this one, and those were my trades for this session, because later on we had news. But you can use a simple strategy like this, structure, and then an overall bigger picture plan on how to trade your market. And I would advise, if you're a beginner or even advanced trader, you can use bonds, whatever bonds you like. I like ultra bonds, and I teach trading ultra bonds in my Discord. But this is a simple strategy I like. Here, yesterday's initial balance high, 16, bam, bounced off. You might not take the first one, but you can also take the second or third one until the structure changes again. Here, higher high in relation to this one. So the structure is changing in this area. Low, higher high, higher low. Maybe you don't take this one, But you can take this one back to Asia range high, this purple line. Read the structure and just go with the flow, but just wait for confirmation. Don't just jump in, it's high risk. Don't just jump in. Here, this is bond open, 5 minutes to bond open. And then we also had some news, I believe, and a lot of job. I don't trade the news, it's high risk, so I would advise not to do that. We're back to VWAP, back at VWAP, and now you want to see what is VWAP and POC doing. POC switched from here to here, and price is respecting the POC from below, the new point of control. This is our session profile, volume profile. We see point of control switched. This is telling us something. You see the retest here of point of control. So traders are accepting lower prices. We failed 2 times to break Asia range high. We failed it here, we failed it here. If it's not breaking Asia range high, so where does it go? Where will it go? Asia range mid, Asia range low. This is how I read the market. You can use the same thing for initial balance. This is just how I look at the market, and I have my indicator printing automatically the previous high, previous value area high, Asia range, so you don't have to draw it all yourself. Keep it simple. A simple strategy is something you can do over and over again. And don't trade like 6 or 8 hours a day. Just trade 2 hours, a big break, then maybe another 1 hour, and that should be it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.